Awesome. All right. So we were just fighting with YouTube for a minute. It wasn't letting me go live. So I'm just gonna go ahead and hop in on my phone real quick, double check, make sure our audio is working. But yeah, I was fighting YouTube. Didn't want us to go live for whatever reason. I don't think it was a Wi-Fi issue. Um, but anyway, we're live now, so no problem. I went ahead and was trying to figure out exactly how I was going to handle the situation. Went onto Zoom, was getting ready to do that. Um, so yeah, just give me 1 second. All right. 1 second. Yep. All right. So we got audio. And get let's get started. Give me. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Let's get started. We're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna hop straight into it. We don't got we don't have as much time as I wanted to go ahead and kind of go over some things. And just a little buffer would have been nice. But I was going ahead and we're looking at NQ on NinjaTrader again, demo account. You can see that we're still up that 300. I didn't take any other trades besides what I've shown in the session. I am going to start trying to take not starting this week most likely, but starting next week and the following week. I do want to start taking trades throughout the day, so not just in my session, not just in my stream session, but kind of following these trend lines, right? I'm going to go ahead and get trading view set up correctly so that I'm able to follow um, so I'm able to use the data, and I'm able to use a couple more tools as well, like alerts and such. But so I can get into these trend line breaks or get into the support and resistance levels, looking for bounces and so on and so forth, right? So just something cool. I'm definitely going to be sharing more of that stuff on Instagram because I am more active on Instagram than I am on YouTube. But these live videos, I think I'm doing well on YouTube for the streams. But I will go ahead and start sharing start sharing those types of trades more on Instagram, and I'll go ahead and try to post those on YouTube as well, YouTube Shorts, so that I can show you guys what's going on. TikTok, I've just found difficult to be consistent with, honestly. I have been messing around with like some quotes, so I do like little like quote posts every day for trading purposes, obviously. So most of them are like trading quotes from professional traders or just like tips and tricks and stuff like that. So, but yeah, anyway, so let's go ahead real quick. I want to just go over, we'll do it for about 5-7 minutes. I want to just go over yesterday. Uh, I was beating myself up like all night, all of yesterday, basically because I didn't go ahead and move that stop when I said I was going to, right over here. So this was our move from yesterday. Let me go ahead. I can turn these on. Are they not? Why aren't they showing? Okay. That's interesting. I don't know why it's not showing, but the trade that I had taken yesterday that went for about 700 was this right here, this move upwards. We got in on the trade right about, I want to say it was one of these two candles that we got in on. And yeah, so we hit a buy, we move upwards, and when I said, we're hitting 600, we're hitting 700, I'm going to move my stop loss to trail the stop loss, and I did it. It was dumb. I should have went ahead. I literally went ahead and said it out loud. I should have went ahead, trailed my stop loss. Obviously, looking at it now, it's hindsight that it was coming down. But either or, had I went ahead and I put my stop loss here, right at $500, locking my profit at $500, and it did decide to keep moving upwards, then we would have been fine. It would have kept moving upwards, and then I could have trailed my stop further, and taken locked in more gains if needed, right? But just in case, we would have had that buffer of $500, um, which would have been fine. It makes sense too because I'm going ahead and I'm using for two contract trades. I'm using 250 as my stop loss, so that would have been 2R on that trade on a 20-point move, which would have been great. That would have been obviously I would have felt better had we taken that 500, and then we possibly could have been in a better headspace to get in the break of this uptrend line because this trend line was here at one point, so we possibly could have gotten in on that break down, and then we would have felt more comfortable with this sell down as well. We just would have been in a better headspace, right? But we were able to cover that drawdown. Obviously, now everything's hindsight, and we could see here too that had I had some alerts on or had I been watching it later in the day, even after here was my last trade. So even after this push right here, had we kept watching it, there were definitely a few more entries that we could have gotten into, and you could see that we move past this resistance that I had trouble with, obviously. But we moved past this resistance after a little pullback, and then shoot higher, which was the move that I was initially looking for, right? For price to go much higher. We're looking at 253 to 232, so that's like another 20 points right here. And that's like what I was looking for when I went ahead and in the other stream I was talking about, hit a 60-point move, right? And price hasn't even moved 60 points for the day so far because we had been right here, right? So I had went ahead and done all that math, and we looked at it, and obviously, we learned from, let's say we learned from our mistakes. I'm trying to learn from my mistakes. That was a big mistake. I went ahead and said I planned the trade, and I didn't trade the plan accordingly. Should have moved my stop loss. Definitely a dumb move. We have a sticky note now. Trailing stop loss, and do as you say. Plan the trade, trade the plan. So we got these sticky notes right here on my, they're on my desk because they're not really sticky, but they're here so that I can refer to them and go ahead and make sure to actually, do as I say and go ahead and trade the plan. Just to look at it here, we got a little bit of consolidation that went ahead and happened. Looks like it started up around, I would say like here's where it started. So 11:20, 11:30, right? We have some consolidation established. Technically, this zone can come out here, and from where it was over there. Beautiful how clicks work. So something like that. You can go ahead and see that we're consolidating in this area. Then we go ahead and we break this trend line that we have here. Even though we have a couple breaks here, we just cut some wicks. And we have a nice break here on the lower end, also breaking the trend line. If we wanted to get into a sell position, that would have been a nice sell. Same with this trend line, nice sell. Looks like we'll go with 30, 32, 33 for easy math. Peak will be 166. So 233 to 166. I don't want to guess that one. I feel like I'm going to get it wrong. So 67 point move down to this wick, obviously. If you catch that whole move, awesome. If not, then, that's not terrible. You're still catching at least 20, at least, 30, if anything. Even 10, depending on how many contracts you have, right? But that's a 60, just about more than a 60-point move right there, which is beautiful, beautiful. Let's go ahead. Get rid of that. See if this trend line is still valid. And then we're going to get rid of these zones because they're not as important for us. Now, this one, I definitely, whoa, where even are you? What the heck is this, guys? Crazy. All right, so definitely want to make a note of this level for today and for a little while after today, because that is our high, right? That's our high zone. That's where we're gonna see some resistance if we're trying to push up higher, or if we start pushing it into this zone, then I want to be aware that we might see some resistance there, right? Looks like this trend line is still invalid here, and that becomes a downtrend. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead, and again, we are on the 1 minute for NQ. NinjaTrader platform, demo account. But I am looking. So again, the plan is to go ahead trade two. We might up the size. We might do 3 con. So 2 to 3 con for a trade, per trade. If we do 3 con, I haven't done the math yet for what I want my stop loss to be. So I think we'll go ahead and we'll stick with 2 contracts right now, just so that we can do that easy math. And look for those 250s on the stop loss, because I feel comfortable with that, right? And then once we pass the 500, right, I want to put my trailing stop at 250, and then once we go higher, once we get to a comfortable level higher than 500, let's say like 600 or 700, depending on how many points that we've moved, go ahead and trail that stop loss even more, right? So that we are trying to get that 1R, that 2R, and go ahead and compound it, right? So it looks like we definitely have some resistance right here. It's pretty big zone, but you can see how we're not really passing this level. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits on this zone right here, and even down here on the bottom too. It's bouncing a bit as well. So let's see what this 930 does. It's going to be interesting. Go ahead and get the zone down here, because obviously we had very nice push. You could see this big V, this V shape, right? So we went ahead and we shot down on the sells, but once we hit this level, we went ahead and quickly regained our bullish trend, and now we're kind of consolidating in this level. We'll draw like a little rectangle. We're not really going to use this as a support or resistance because it's kind of obviously it's not beautiful with where all the wicks are and everything, but we could go ahead and we can tell that we're consolidating within this range right here, right? So yeah, this would actually be nice if I did the turtle. We'll go ahead and we'll draw that out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right, so we got our low is going to be this wick. Boom, and then we'll do 21. So this is what we're looking at right now. So we got our high right here. I'll go ahead and I'll change this color too. Let's make it green. Apply, save, boom. So we got that green right there. So basically with this strategy, again, they go ahead and they actually trade it on the daily time frame. There's a few other rules like the stop loss rule, which I am going to be honest, I'm having trouble understanding. But to my based on what I understand, the stop loss is the last 10 candles. So I use the 10 EMA. Because obviously, if you count the last 10 candles, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That would put my stop loss right here, which is only 3 points, which is a 3-point stop loss, which is pretty dramatic. Let me go ahead, or not dramatic, but it's too close, right? Let me go ahead and pull up. That's the 8 EMA, this yellow one. So the 10, do I want to pull up the 10? We can make it 10. Whatever. 10, I like using purple for my 10 EMA, so we'll do purple. All right, so you can see the 10 EMA. 3 point. Well, I guess it's not terrible. I just feel like, especially for NQ, with how volatile it is, This is extremely close to where price is right now, right? So you're bound to get hit if your stop loss is here. I know for a trailing stop loss, so let's say like you caught one of these moves, right? Then you'd go ahead and you'd trail it at the 10 EMA. So like you probably would have gotten stopped out here had you caught this move. Any point that it had covered, depending on where you had gotten in. So like let's say you caught this, boom, 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 then all of this is going to be profit. And then until it hits it probably would have hit it here because this might have not calculated just yet. But it probably definitely would have hit your stop loss here because you would have had it like right here. So you would have cut all that profit and then you would have hit your trailing stop like that. Um, so yeah, so now we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna follow our price action. We still got our high range here, our low range here. I like the turtle thing. I like the turtle trading strategy. I like to call these turtle shells. So I'm gonna refer to it as that. But I like drawing these turtle shells, right? Doing that turtle trading because you can go ahead and kind of see what's going on. You can tell that within this range it's consolidating, right? Not every time it's going to be beautiful. You're not going to hit, a trade every time it breaks out, obviously. But for the most part, if when it goes ahead and it breaks out, right, you're good. You're going to catch that breakout. You're going to catch that momentum, and it'll go for a bit. So like right here, you would have caught this momentum going lower when it crossed these low wicks, right, and then you would have caught that whole move going down. So it's gonna work. It's gonna work as best it can, basically. And if your bias is in the direction of the market, then you'll go ahead and you'll make some money. Let's go ahead and establish a trend line if we can. Yeah, let's try and establish a trend line from this point here. Oh, we're gonna have to zoom in. Yeah, beautiful. All right, and we're gonna make that green as well. So we can go ahead and quickly tell that that is our uptrend. And then I also want to, oh look, it looks like we got a downtrend right here. So let's make that one red. So I know that that one is my downtrend. Yeah, from when? Yesterday. Did I just draw that? I did just draw that. Crazy, crazy. Did I really just draw that? I did. Because here was our, wow, wow, wild. This is what sleep deprivation does to you guys. Make sure to rest. Make sure to get an adequate amount of sleep. That's why I'm acting weird too. Maybe I need a doctor, right? Psychiatrist or something. All right, let's go ahead. Let's establish another. Save apply. I really thought that I was gonna have to go ahead and like I was gonna do Zoom. I was just gonna record it and then just go ahead and post it. But I'm so glad that YouTube decided to go ahead and work. All right, so it's not. What are we looking at? Oh, we got like 2 minutes. Not time. I'm not getting in a trade yet, but where it broke right here, that would have been the buy signal. Okay. Let me go ahead and turn off some of these EMAs. There's also an indicator. So well, let's see if we can find it real quick. Average. Let's see if we can look it up. Bingo. Yes. Red. I want the lower band red and the higher band green. I am going to start utilizing this more. Hold up. Whoa. Okay, I'm going to have to fix that. We'll worry about fixing those later. We're about to hit the 9:30, so let's go ahead and lock in and see what happens here. All right, so now this level would go up. Push down, heavy push down. If we break that Are we gonna break that trend line? It's a bit of a crazy entry. Do I want to get in on that? Ooh, look, our trend line wasn't even accurate. All right, a lot of volatility. Oh, we didn't even check news. Look at me. Look at me. We're starting off great. Good on news. 10 a.m. news. Final wholesale inventories for month to month. So yellow folder. Don't have to worry about that too much right now. It's gonna go ahead and hit at 10. So I'm gonna go ahead and final. You read a little bit. We got time. I'm gonna be honest. I don't really have any bullish bias right now. That might hinder us because it's a pretty big bullish candle, but we do have bearish bias. Is that a good thing? I don't know. We'll see. We do have some bearish bias. See what happens. Maybe we get like a nice little pullback into the zone. Obviously, this candle's going to do it, but I want to see if we can maybe bounce up a little higher and then come back into the zone. Possibly get a buy there here in this zone. I'm going to get rid of this now because it's kind of just crowding my view. I'll also turn off this EMA. We'll turn that off too because it's not set up correctly yet, configured correctly. Oh, there is the bullish bias off the bottom. Decent move so far. It looks like 30 points, just about. No, a little less than 30 points. 20 points. 20-point move. See if it catches. Catch and resistance, catch and chop, maybe. Let's go ahead and establish a turnaround zone. So possible resistance, possible turnaround zone here. But like I said, like it's only 9:32. Let's go ahead and see what price action kind of wants to do, what the people in the market are deciding for today. There's not really any like good levels over here I can pinpoint, at least not on the 1 minute chart, because there's just so much breaking of lows, and then the candles are like most of these candles are like the same height, right? So it's basically like indecision, right? We went ahead and we bought for 1-2 points, and then we went ahead and sold for 1-2 points, right? Or we came down really low and then we almost engulf this candle and then come back and almost engulf this. So not really a good area to go ahead and try and figure out, where price might decide to turn around, because it could just blow past this completely, because there's not anything, there's not anything substantial here. So I almost look at this as like indecision and confusion, which isn't a terrible thing, because just as it did, it went ahead and decided, no, we weren't going to go ahead and blow past this. There's just too much indecision at these price levels for price to go ahead and either shoot up or shoot back down, right? So same thing. It looks like we looked at some indecision and we basically went ahead and had a big bullish and then same height on bearish. So buy, sell, boom. So that same indecision that was over here is kind of translating over here right now, just at these price levels, right? And again, we were just consolidating. All right, if we can get, let's look, I want to look more so for that trend line break. Again, because like this zone is just so, like I don't really have a good zone to go ahead and say, oh, I want to look at a breakout at this price, right? So if I can see a trend line break down here, then looking for sells. I went ahead and I cut this wick because obviously this level here, we'll go ahead and draw a little zone, because We had a big turnaround at this price level, right? And then we went ahead, big bullish candle. So even though yes, it is the 930 candle, has a lot of volatility. This is a really big turnaround, really big 930 candle, really big wick for a 930 candle. So we had a big turnaround at this price level. So I want to be aware of that. Um, Technically, this would be a line, but I like drawing the zone so that I can just see it better. I can see it better in a line. Cool. All right, let me read this. Some forecast is good because here's the setup. So, final wholesale inventories for month to month U.S. news at 10 a.m. It's a signal of future business spending because companies are more likely to purchase goods once they have depleted inventories. Okay, I understand. That might affect us a little bit since we're trading NASDAQ. So we're going to be a bit wary for 10 a.m. We will see how traders react. Excuse me. 10:30 crude oil inventories. 11 FOMC. Jefferson speaks. What else we got? 1 p.m. 10-year bond auction, and then 1:30 FOMC member Cook. So you got Jefferson for FOMC at 11, and then at 1:30 FOMC at Cook. Awesome. Ooh, big push, big push. So we're kind of looking at this zone for a turnaround. Might do a one contract. I don't know if I want to put a full two contract on this, because it is very possible that we will go ahead and annihilate this zone. Hesitating, definitely hesitation.
Order filled.
All right, let's see what happens. One contract. Let's see if we can get quick 150. Or 100 looks nice. No? One con. All right, we'll get up.
Order filled.
Well, we do that. 89. Ah, we cut the wick. That's fine. That's fine. Not terrible. Not terrible. That's usually how I trade. So I'll do. So it looks like we hit 95 PNL. That's usually how I trade. So literally less than 1 minute, right there. That's how I am. I wish I was more decisive when we were floating in profit yesterday, but hey, you live and you learn. You trade and you learn, you experience and you experience. But hey, quick 95 or 89 after commissions, obviously. But not terrible, not terrible. We'll go ahead and wait it out, right? So we had that nice turnaround. But again, this indecision is coming in. So what I want to see, wish I was on TradingView, but I want to see it kind of come up. So if we can do this, what we did at this zone, so move much higher, then come back down into this zone, right? And use it as support. Like that would be great. That would be great. Will we see that? Don't know. This doji, I'm going to go ahead and I want to mark this doji as another level of influence. We'll just give it like a really, really little candle. Or do I want to do... I want to do it as a whole range. I don't know if I want to do it as a whole range. Do I want to do it as a whole range? We'll do it as a whole range, but we're gonna make it a lighter color. because obviously it's pretty big. We'll do a gray, light gray. Apply save. Oh, everybody calm down. There we go. All right, so we're looking at this doji level as a potential pull down. Look, so here we are coming in into this zone. Buy, hesitating. What are we doing? We're gonna hold off. I'm not trying to rush. Again, these candles are just engulfing each other. These candles are being decently indecisive, right? Because this candle could easily come down here at this level and then decide we're going to move lower and use this as resistance to the top, support going down for a downtrend. Maybe we can go ahead and establish a tighter downtrend, right? Look, we get to clean this up because we zoomed out a little bit. Clean that up, and then we're going to use that same point to. Nope, I guess we're going here. We'll cut that top off just a little bit. That's fine. All right, let's do red, gray. Boom. All right, nice. I like that trend line. Realistically, I could go ahead and do another one from here to here, but then we're looking at a lot of trend lines. Let's see what it looks like. Do I like it? Do I like it, chat? Do I start saying chat? I don't know if I want to do that. It's kind of weird. All right, let's look. Yeah, we would have already broke that. So technically, these buys would be in order for this trend line break, right? But I don't necessarily like this trend line. It's getting a little steep at this point. So yeah, and I mean we've already got 3 trend lines here. These look very subtle. And if we get up here, then I will be a little weary of this level with this consolidation here. But I mean, again, like this is 2 minutes right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 minutes right here. So yeah. So we're just taking into consideration we're on the 1 minute time frame. So things are gonna be a little more choppy, a little more hasty because we're seeing kind of all of price action, right? From a 1 minute standpoint. Let's go ahead and we'll turn this off. Hide all. We want to get that out of our way. All right, so we're looking at the 5 minute. I'm be honest, I don't even know. I did have breakfast. I had Chick-fil-A for breakfast. Did it taste good? Yes. Is it gonna mess my stomach up? Most likely. But it tasted good. Chicken minis. And Chick-fil-A sauce. Beautiful. But I'm drinking a Cuban coffee right now. Definitely starting to feel it. Definitely. We're waking up. I don't know if you could tell we're a bit energized. We'll zoom out. Zoom out to the 15. Crazy bullish 15-minute candle. Interesting. We got some consolidation here. Looks like there's definitely some zonage. And then this is kind of the area that we turned around and we stopped at, right? So we got a zone here too. Little zone here, little zone here. So like once we get past these 3, I'm not going to draw anything, but it's good to be wary that on the sell side there's kind of some zones we got to be wary about. Here on the buy, on the bullish end, I would say like right here is an area to be kind of aware of. I'm not too worried about this, so this probably won't get in the way as much as we might think or we might want to consider. But just again, decently wary here as well, because these highs. What is it? The high of the day? Yeah, that was the high of the day at 4 a.m. So this level here is pretty significant. Um, High of day level, because you could see that we were kind of bouncing off of it, and then we bounced off last time for high of day. So I would be very wary of this high of day level if we can make it up there. All right, looks like we're coming into our doji. So let's get back on the 1 minute. See what's going on. Look at that nice pullback. So that would have been a nice buy right there off of this support level. We got our two cons on, yeah. So we're at this doji. See what happens with this doji range. I will be more. I'm gonna draw this little horizontal so I can just keep that in mind without having to zoom in and out all the time. This would have been good. That's okay. We missed it though. No problem. I'm more eager for this trend line break. So if we can hit that trend line break, maybe we get in for a buy. Again, I want to go ahead and see what price is doing. I mean, we're already up 89 bucks. That's not a crazy amount, but again, like that's about 6-7 hours, 5, 6, 7 hours, depending on where you work. So, and in a minute, in less than a minute. So pretty cool. Pretty cool. Gotta love trading. Nice push up. So we're looking at 15, 115. So about 25. Nope. Yeah, 25. 25-point move right here. Pretty good. Pretty good. That would have been like that same move that we botched yesterday. All right. Seeing a bit of that resistance. Kind of worried, right? Because we pushed really high. We get that trend line break, maybe on one con, or we could hop into the micros real quick. Yeah. Yeah, that just felt too good to be true right there. Crazy. We're going to have to, we don't have to, but it would make sense for us to kind of consolidate a little bit before deciding if we're going to keep moving forward, because we had a decent amount of bullish candles right after another, after another, after another. And I'm telling you, after yesterday's lesson, definitely trailing that stop. Had we been in this trade, definitely trailing that stop. And if we hit, we're one of these sell orders. You know what I mean? So we're getting that $700-800 right there, just like all these people that are getting out of this trade because they went ahead and got that 25-point. Crazy, crazy. Train and learn your lessons. Holding this trend line really good, which isn't necessarily a bad thing because that means that we can go ahead and we can move lower, right? So we'll see. We're gonna break. Do we want that? We did want that. We'll go one because we're late.
Order filled.
Because we're late, we'll go one con. As we said, we are going to get on the break. All right, what are we looking for, chat? 150? That's good.
Order filled.
Quick one con. What did we hit? Oh, keeps moving up. So we're at 234 on the day. That was what, like probably like 15 seconds. Definitely chicken. Should have held. I told you guys that I was trying to practice on holding. And here we are. We're back at our old habits. back at our old. You want to know why? You want to know why? Because of yesterday. We have post game trauma from yesterday, not taking profit. So now, no hesitation on taking profit. Now we're taking the profits. I want to go ahead and I want to show this so that we can see what we got. We got a 155. 155 on that one. Obviously, after commissions is going to be a little less, but that's not terrible. Right now, we're sitting at a 238. 238 because we did 89. So we'll do this math. 238 minus 89. I gotta get better. I gotta get better at this math. 149. Not bad. Not bad. 150 was what I said. So 149 after it was like $4 commission, $6 commission. If you want to include the cents. But that's not bad. We're looking at 200 on the day, right? So for this week, that puts us at $500. At my job, currently, at my part-time job, part-time, but like I really work full-time, that's 1 week. And realistically, we've done that in 3 days, but it's been 1 hour each day. So in 3 hours, we've made what I do. Damn, that's really sad. But you know, you gotta do what you gotta do to go ahead and do what you gotta do. It's just how it is, brother. That's just how it is. Just how it is. Brothers and sisters. Brothers and sisters of the metaverse. Welcome. Welcome to the Trading Hub. Definitely be wary of this zone up here from when we get up there. I'm thinking we're probably gonna do some bouncing. Can we draw? We're gonna do some bouncing right here, but I don't want to get into this. I don't want to get into that, just in case. Just in case, might be a little risky to get into that. I think we're gonna stick with the 1 cons for today, because if we put a 2 con on and we make a bad decision, we're gonna eat this P&L. So we're gonna stick with the 1 cons for today, because 1 con, we can make 1 bad decision and we'll still be up like $100, which I'll be okay with. Plan the trade, trade the plan. Plan the trade, trade the plan. What were you doing? You were being a chicken, bro. Should have gotten in 2 contracts right here. Should have gotten in here. 2 contracts. 2 contracts. Boom. 2 contracts for this one would have been great. 1 contract here. We should have done 1 contract at least. I mean, that's my trade, right? Should have gotten in there. Crazy. But we got in on this trend break. Even though we hesitated like crazy, we got in on this break, which is good. Look, so we're doing a little bounce. Let's see if we can break this zone, push through that next trend line. Do we got anything up here kind of hindering us? Kind of. Look at all these peaks, these lower highs that are in our way. I'll go ahead, I'll draw some lines, horizontal lines, so that we know when we're breaking barriers. This one is pretty bad. This one's bad. This one is really bad. In a good way, obviously, because like this one I would probably say, okay, we're definitely like taking profit if we're in the buy position. Up here anywhere. Definitely taking profit right there. Boom. Unless we got nuggets. Or we do the trailing stop, guys. We could do a trailing stop so we don't necessarily need to bug out of our trade like I've been doing today. We basically bugged out. This is what I would do. I would go ahead. We moved the doji. My bad, guys. You could see the coffee's getting to me. Let's find our 930 candle again. I would literally get into the trade right before 930. I'd pick my bias. So like, let's say like this candle is about to close. I'm like, all right, we're going for buys because we're in this zone, right? So we get in, boom. Oh, it's coming down. It breaks that trend line. We're okay though. We're already shooting for buys, right? So unless we see like a two, whatever, until we hit our stop loss, we're in the trade, right? Then boom, big push up. What is that? Let's do this candle. So we got 83, 83. We'll just go 83 exact to 96. So that's about 11 points, right? 83 minus 96. 80. Why am I so slow? Sleep deprivation, 13 points. 13 points. 13 times, let's do one con. 13 times 20 per point, 260. So like that, boom, would have been out. Look at that for 2 con. So that would have been 260 times 2, 400 plus a 60, 123, 400. So 520, right? Double check. I gotta double check everything. 260 times 2, 520. Yeah. So for 2 contracts, that would have been 520. Would have been out. Boom. Immediately. If I did decide to hold it, it would have been this next candle. And then right after that next candle, again, not holding it for the whole candle, but after we pushed up a little more higher than 560 or 520, then we would have been out of the trade. Like I would have closed it. So just as quickly as I took these 2 trades just now, that's basically what I do. And that's how I pass my challenge. So I pick my 930 bias, take the trade. If it hits my stop loss, it hits my stop loss. If we zoom in the direction I want, then boom, we zoom. Again, too, if you see, I went ahead and I said, "Oh, I have a lot of bullish bias." Completely wrong. I was completely wrong. Look at us moving higher. Oh, we got a trend line break. If we can get another one, I'm getting. Wasn't paying attention. Wasn't paying attention. Let's lock in real quick. Let's lock in. I'll go ahead and say what I wanted to in a minute. Look at that though. It hit that horizontal, right? And then shot back down. Look at that big wick. All right, I think we got a little bit of time to chat. I'm gonna be a chatty Cathy. You see how messy my chart is right now? It's because we've got so much going on. What I was gonna say was I went ahead and I said, "Oh, I have a bearish bias. I have a shorting bias, right? We're gonna sell today." And look, so far from 9:30 bell open to almost 10 now. It's about to be 10, so let's get ready for that news, see what happens. But all buys, all buys. If I would have bought it here and held at this zone, right? Because I said, blah blah blah, at this zone that we're bouncing, right? If I would have bought it here, so you're looking at 83. Is that 174? So at the wick, almost. So definitely 90 points at the wick. So 83 to 174. That's 90 points, 90-point move in 30 minutes. So yeah, just interesting too, because I said, oh, I have a bearish bias. I have a selling bias, right? I'm going to short today. And look, all 30 minutes went up, right? But we went ahead and we still profited off of these buys, right? Because we haven't sold it. We've been buying it. We switched our bias. Like, okay, we're going to go ahead and buy, right? I went ahead and said, ooh, this might be a good buy right here because we're pulling back. And then when we get into the zone, you could have bought, could have bought here. If we pull back into the zone, could have bought, right? Oh, are we going to break the doji? Oh, break the trend line. Oh, we pull back into this zone, possibly. Could have bought, right? I called this one too. Dang it. That was like the most recent one. But look, since I was yapping, we went ahead and we saved a trade because I was yapping. And I said these horizontal lines, right? Like we now have lower highs that are creating these resistance points for us, right? Look, even this is a little resistance point right here where my mouse is. Is my mouse enlarged? Pretty sure it does. Do you guys see when it enlarges? I think so. Anyway, right here, where I have my mouse, I can go ahead and I can do a circle. Right there. So right here where the circle is, that oval, you can see that it kind of did some resistance. Just take the circle with me. Did some resistance here, and now we're moving back up again into that level. So we'll see what it does with this trend line again. What I would like to see is for it to break. If we can break the trend line, use this as support. That would be beautiful. Are we going to do that? I don't know. So trend line break. We got one con set up right now. Let's get a sip of coffee. I feel caffeinated. Pushing higher. Peripheral vision, boys. That's how you trade, boys and girls. All right.
Order filled.
One, a little late, but we're in it. Let's see if we can get 100 again. What do we take on the stop? I'll take it 100. Stop loss 100 as well. 1 for 1. Or do we want to get into another buy when we get into that zone? All right.
Order filled.
We got out 100. We did what we said we were going to do. So 157. Kind of shit. Maybe a buy potential there, but we'll sit it out. A little emotional. So now we're starting to see a bit of a turnaround, right? Should we have stopped at 200 for the day? 200 for the day is not bad. Look at that. Look at that. Saved my ass. All right. Let's get rid of that one. Oh, was that? Oh, look, we weren't even paying attention. This was our 10 a.m. candle for that news. Okay. Not a significant news event. So I just think this level had a hard U-turn. So let's go ahead and indicate to watch out here. What is that? We're gonna have to see what happens tomorrow. We might have to be a little more aggressive with our trading and do 4 contract, 3 contract. Because I said we're looking for a profit target of 9K. So I'm not gonna take that buy. I want to just see what happens. Could have been a decent sell, almost 5 points, just real quick. 5 times 20 is 100. So 20, because since we're on E-mini NASDAQ, each point is worth $20 for one contract. Each point is worth $20. So when you do 2 contracts, now it's worth 40. When you do 3, it'll be worth 60. When you do 4, it'll be worth 80. So each point on 4 contract trade would be worth $80. Which means I think we might call it with our 150. Getting a little tired. I think we've run our locked in ness for today. Just watch it a little longer, kind of see what happens. Definitely some resistance there, because we had 2 trend line breaks, which both turn around because of this level. So do we get in for a buy on that trend line break? Because technically that's my strategy. So you're supposed to follow your rules, and if it breaks, you get in. But there's a really strong resistance level right there. Not gonna execute. The reason, and I like dictating what I'm thinking because I think it helps me understand myself and like what I'm thinking better, obviously. But the reason that I'm not wanting to execute is because I still have this bullish bias. Now that we went ahead and switched, so if we were to break this trend line, I would want to go ahead and put a buy. But this strong resistance level, right? I can go ahead and I can see that we're taking sells, and people are selling at this level significantly, right? Like, look how big this candle is. Look how big these candles were, where we took our loss. Look how big this wick is, right? So I'm aware of this resistance level, but I don't want to take any sells because of my bullish bias. And I think that it's going to keep on moving up, even though we are having this resistance. Like, in my head, I think we're going to break it. You know what I mean? So again, the market isn't wrong. The market is just showing me what it's doing. It's showing me what the other traders are doing and what's going on. So I have to go ahead and control my emotions, control my decisions, and I'm deciding to stay out based on my bias, because I don't want to get into a buy if it breaks the trend line, but I don't want to get into a sell because of my bias of my bullish bias. So if I got into a sell, then I would just be going against what I'm thinking right now, right? But arguably, I shouldn't really be contemplating the direction of the market, and I should just be following along. So if I was a robot getting into these cells at this resistance level, that would make sense. But I'm not a robot. Going ahead and contemplating, and you have gut feelings and intuition and biases, which come into play while you're trading. So that's what makes it a little difficult for humans to trade, and you got to get used to it. You got to get a certain level of understanding that the market moves where it wants to move, and you are a small fish in the river. And the current, you want to follow the current because if you're swimming against the current, you're losing money and it's going to be difficult, right? Because you're swimming against the current. But if you're going with the current, then you're going to make money and it's going to be easy to swim. Let's see. Oh, starting to get tired. This is exactly what I mean by going ahead and just like getting that experience and kind of like flowing with the market, feeling it, watching it, seeing how it moves. I'll be completely honest. These last like 4 or 5 candles, I'm a little lost. Like obviously, there's a bit of indecision going on right now, so we just kind of need to see what the traders want to decide. My my educated guess is that we're gonna come. Obviously, we're looks like we're moving lower now, but I think we're just gonna start bouncing within these two levels here for a minute. Not a literal minute, but for a little while. Because this is a substantial push down, but I bet we're gonna, bounce a little here, da da da, maybe come up here again, come down. So like one of these two breaks is gonna decide which direction we start to move for the most part. Um, but yeah, so it looks like we're gonna go ahead and kind of consolidate within this zone, if not this zone up here. Watch it. Oh. Excuse me. We'll watch it a little longer, but I am starting to get tired. So I think trading, I'm just with an Ninja Trader, I can turn off trade mode right here. So I turned that off. So I'm not gonna. I would have to go ahead and turn it back on if I wanted to execute any trades. That's kind of helpful too to stop yourself from trading. So turn it off. I think we're just gonna watch because I'm getting a little tired and I don't think I can make a strong trading decision at the moment because my train of thought is slowing down and decisiveness and yeah. So let's go ahead and just watch it. I should get like some background music, do like some. I was thinking like some like elevator, like some sleepy, like relaxing music, but then I'd probably fall asleep. If I put on some relaxing music right now, I'd probably fall asleep. This chair that I have, I don't even know what the brand is. It's really old. It's a really old chair. Like probably like 20, 30 years, like as old as me. That's how old this chair is. Um, Super comfortable though. I fall asleep in this chair all the time, all the time. I'll be working on a computer and I'll just fall asleep, or like I'll sit. So kind of how I'm like reclined back right now, and then I have a footrest under my desk. So I just pull my feet up and close my eyes, and then just pass out in the chair. Super comfortable. Footrest, not so comfortable. Chair, 10 out of 10. 10 out of Ah, yep. Bit of consolidating in these zones. I'm gonna leave these here, but I want to draw. I'm just gonna draw this circle so that, or not a circle, but yeah, circle. So that tomorrow morning, when I hop on, I can just really quickly we can reference. I want to get that done. Can I not grab that? Okay. Yeah. So really quickly, I can just reference to where we were yesterday. Um, and like this is basically where this was our last trade, was this candle where we took our loss of about $100. Let's pull this up. We can go over trades for today. So you can see our lines right here, $75. So not bad. Obviously, yeah, was a loss. Oh look, we came up. Came up. Obviously, yes, was a loss, but I said I was going to get out at -100. Got out. We just did one contract because we've been doing one contract all day, so it didn't make sense to kind of switch out of that. And same thing, we executed just as quickly as we did on the other trades. Oh look, we did have a sell, so I sold at this point of resistance. Got a quick little 95 right there, and then the second trade we get a buy, trend line break. This was a trend line break. We hit a buy, bit of hesitation, I remember, and hit a quick little 155. So basically, we kept one trade. We kept our big trade, 155, if you want to look at it like that. So not a terrible day. We took 3 trades, and we were 2 for 1, and we kept profits of 1 entirely, which is good, right? Had we been doing more size, had our contracts been bigger, had we held them, not these specific trades, but had we gotten in on a couple other ones and held them a little longer, right? Like this one, like this one, and this one that we called. I'll go ahead and I'll circle them so we're aware what we're talking. We're talking about this one, which we said, oh, bounce off of the zone, and then this one, which we said, bounce off of the zone. Um, so yeah, this one I think I said bounce off of the zone too, but whatever. So yeah, so like had we gotten in those and had we held them a little longer, would have been nice. But live and learn. But yeah, so what I was saying was we were 2 for 1 on the day. We kept the same. This is something that is uh, not necessarily pivotal, but it's key. Like you could tell, we kept the same trading plan, right? I stuck with one contract. I said that I was going to go ahead and take losses out at 100, that I was going to take profit at 100, at 150, right? So we stuck with what we said. Yes, they were quick trades. Yes, they were one contract, but we planned the trade and we traded the plan. Did we hesitate a couple times? Did we not get into some decent trades that we should have? Um, Jeez, this doji. It's okay. We'll just get rid of that. Did we not get into some decent trades that we should have? Definitely. But again, all part of the process. Getting comfortable. Um, getting into the trades, not necessarily like it's you're gonna have to find that ease, right? Like you have to make it simple. So yes, I should have executed on these trades. This trade I could have held longer for sure. This trade was just really quick scalp, right? So was this one. This was a quick scalp. This one was a quick, really good exit. I took it out at 100, basically. So we didn't take that whole loss, and it basically would have just broke even if we came back into the zone. I probably would have gotten hysterical, and I would have thought that it was going to keep moving higher once we broke the trend line again. So, this was a good trade, and then we knew when to stay out because we were possibly going to get emotional. Trend line break. I was gonna turn it on, but I did say I was done. Let's see what happens. But yeah. So again, you trade every day, get that consistency, then learn lessons every day. Keep the consistency, keep the discipline. Like I said, tomorrow is Thursday. So Thursday and Friday is kind of like when the markets start to slow down. At least that I've noticed, this market NQ it starts to slow down the trading significantly. Monday is like the best day to trade. Obviously, it's going to be really volatile, but there's going to be a lot of volume. So a lot of potential for like high moves. Wednesday, I like trading Wednesday too. You could see that we had that 90-point move from the bell ring to now. Even now, it's still at like, wait, is it higher? Yeah, it's just about 90. It's still a little higher than 90 points, but 90-point move from bell ring to now, and a little before. So I love trading Wednesdays, but Thursday, Friday is when it kind of starts to slow down. Thursdays, I didn't mean to show up. It's all right. Thursdays, I enjoy trading as well, so we see what we'll be able to do Thursday, but it does like to slow down, like I said. Look at that trend line break momentum. Beautiful. That's all right though. We said we were done trading for right now because we're getting tired. Had I gotten in that and it gone, we should have gotten in it, right? Because it was part of our strategy. And you're supposed to trade your strategy when it presents. You're supposed to trade your strategy when it presents. But that's okay. That's okay. We're tired. Making excuses right now. Either or. Hindsight now. It's hindsight now. But anyway, so like I said, Thursday, Friday kind of starts to slow down, at least in these markets, and at least that I've noticed. So I'm gonna go ahead and see what we can do Thursday, Friday. Most likely, we'll sit out and just won't trade. Thursday might be going heavier because I want to get a feel for trading the contract size that I'm going to be trading on the challenge. If I'm going to be starting that challenge next week, I want to be prepared, seeing those numbers, already have that math ready to go. So know when I want to get my stop losses out, know how much I'm going to take, profit, know my points, know how much everything costs, right? So if I have all that planned out, get a feel for that on Thursday, so that when I go in on Monday, if we're able to start that challenge for next week, then we're able to go ahead and be ready, be prepared for starting to see those bigger numbers, right? Because if I'm doing a 4 contract and we're looking at $80 a point, that's very different from $20 a point, right? On that 20-point move, those 20-point moves that we've been seeing, instead of one contract 20, that would have been $400 on a 20-point move, right? If we're looking at 80 times 20, boom, 1,600. Big difference, for a 20-point move. So definitely want to go ahead and make sure that we get comfortable with those numbers on Thursday so we're able to see them. I just want to see real quick. Let's look. So we got 77 to 97. So look again, 20-point move right there from this break, from this trend line break, right? It took a while. You could see that we did some resistance. We did a little bit of consolidation right here. It wasn't really crazy amount of consolidation. We basically just went under and then came back up. And then we used this level as support a bit, and then we broke our trend line, and then we went 20-point move. Boom. Um, so, and that would have been had we not been a chicken, had we not been tired, had we not made excuses. 20 times 20, 400. 20 times 20. Look what sleep deprivation gets you. Look what sleep deprivation gets you. Slow, tired. So many notifications. Anyway, and look, we're breaking this trend line now. We'll see what it does. I'll just keep yapping for a little bit, but I mean, yeah. Today wasn't terrible. We took 3 trades. We were 2 for 1, and we got to keep full profit on one of those trades because the other one basically canceled out our profit for another trade because we took a loss, right? But we took a good loss. I mean, obviously, no losses are good, but we could have taken a bigger loss, right? Or we could have been sitting here and then starting to get emotional, right? But we went ahead and we were quick. We were decisive, which was good. But again, for some of these trades, had we taken some of those bounces, I would have liked to the bullish side specifically, because obviously we had hindsight again. Beautiful bullish trend. Which I actually want to draw. Anyway, beautiful bullish trend. So any one of those, any of those bounces on the bullish end from a support level would have been nice, and just holding it a little longer. We might have been a little too concise, a little too decisive at some of these trades, but I mean, hey, we're able to walk away with a green day again. Definitely making excuses here, which isn't great. Are we making excuses here? No, we're just yapping, but probably should have gotten in on this trend line break as well, right? Because that's my strategy. So when your strategy presents itself, you get into those trades. So yeah. So, but am I disappointed with today? No. Ready for tomorrow. I am tired, so I should probably have to go hit the gym first, but definitely gonna rest up because we got work tonight again, overnight. So I'll go ahead. I'll stop sharing. Just talk to you guys. But yeah, so it's basically what we got going on. Gonna hit the gym, come home, shower, rest, sleep. And then work. We got the work for overnight. And then Thursday, come into the trading session ready. We'll probably be messing around with, like I said, 3 contract, 4 contract, so I can start getting used to those, seeing those numbers, seeing that movement. And I want to be a little more aggressive on Thursday, right? So let me just share this one more time and kind of explain what it is, because I don't really mean like emotionally aggressive, right? What I mean by aggressive is I took this, right? I took this trend line break. I'm holding it as long as I can, and I'm trailing that stop, right? I got whatever EMA, right? And I'm trailing that stop on the EMA with each candle. So boom, trend line break, boom. Okay. Boom, trend line break, hits my stop at the EMA, right? Oh, I get in here. Okay. Hold as long as possible, right? Start trailing stop when we get decent movement, right? Okay, boom, big bullish. All right, trail stop. Oh, big bullish. All right, trail stop, right? And taking these bounces, like taking my strat, like I don't want to come into it saying, oh, potential entry and not enter. Like if I say potential entry for my strategy, then I want to get in. So we're going to be a little more aggressive on our entries, higher contract size, higher positioning, and holding longer. and just going ahead and trying to execute and manage the trade and trade the plan as best as I can. Be a little aggressive, like I'm saying. That's what I mean when I'm saying aggressive. So yeah, I think that's about it for today. Like I said, we'll be aggressive on Thursday session. Um, I do got a bit of work that I need to do as well. Most likely this weekend, I'll be hopping on to more of the education stuff because I'm building that using Shopify. Um, I have another project that I'm working on. I also am still going to college, so I need to figure out because the semester just started. So I'm gonna have homework on Friday, but I also just picked the shift up. Just picked the shift up on Friday. Um, yeah, so this weekend is and it's Mother's Day, so we gotta do something for Mother's Day. But yeah, this weekend is gonna be a decent one. Hopefully, I'm hoping Sunday and Monday I can catch up on sleep because holy cow, am I tired. Uh, but yeah, so looks like it's gonna be a busy week, busy weekend. Building out that trading stuff, working more on social media stuff, also working on well, I mean YouTube streaming is social media stuff too. So same thing, and just getting ready, see if I'll be able to go ahead and do that challenge starting next week, which will be good, which will be exciting, and yeah, as I'm also still watching NQ move higher from that trend line break. Crazy, crazy. We'll go ahead and we'll analyze that again tomorrow before we go ahead and get a jump start on the analyzation for today. But I mean, today was a good trading day. I think we went over a lot, and that's about it. I think I'll leave you guys to that. Um, Again, like I am really enjoying like making these videos and going ahead and like putting this stuff out on YouTube. I mean, it's definitely new to me. Um, Especially like I know like I've been more consistent this week. Like I've done the 3 videos this week, and I want to say I did Sunday, so I've done 4 videos this week, and this is like honestly uh, the most consistent that I've been like with social media. And I'm really enjoying like doing these videos, also doing these like live tradings because I'm able to go ahead and dictate what I'm doing, dictate what I'm thinking. So I don't think like I'm not only helping you guys, but I'm also like hearing myself, right? Like this is helping me because I'm basically journaling my trade live. And then I have replay. Like I can go back literally yet last night. I didn't go ahead and do it. I'm not gonna say I did it, but I wanted to. But I think I beat myself up enough, so I don't think I had to. But what I am gonna start doing is on Saturdays, I'm basically gonna compile these videos like when I actually take trades, and we're just gonna go over like replays. And we're gonna be like, okay. But what I'm saying is that I can go ahead and I can watch the replay of me taking the trade and see myself and see what I was thinking, and then go ahead and like watch basically my reflection, watch my recording, how I was acting, and go ahead and learn from that and be like, listen, like, why didn't you trail a stop loss? Why didn't you get into that trade, right? Why didn't you get into that entry, that strategy entry that you have, that you said, oh, it was gonna bounce off of there, potential entry is gonna bounce off of there, and you didn't get in. So like, I can go ahead and watch these replays, right? Like it's basically like a live journal. What I do want to start doing is on Saturday, I'm literally, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and compile. That'll be my video for Saturday as I'll go for Saturdays is I'll go ahead and compile the trades that I took throughout the week and analyze them. So go ahead and just analyze like, oh, like this was basically the chart, and do like a reaction video and like watch the video of me going ahead and trading and then like reacting to it. I mean, like, okay, well, here's what we can improve, right? Here's what we need to do better. Because basically reflection. Like I'm going ahead and I'm watching post game. I'm going ahead and studying what I did. I'm studying my faults. from when I was live training, from when I was really performing, right? So I think that's something that's really cool too. That I get to make these videos and I can go ahead and adjust the way that I trade based on what I see myself doing and based on like my dictation of what I'm thinking, right? It just kind of puts it out there, not only like for you guys, but for myself as well, right? Because obviously you can go ahead and you can think all this stuff in your head and you can go ahead and sit in your head all day long. But until you put it out there, until you start speaking it, until you start, creating, and you start studying yourself and studying your actions, uh, like with intent, with like real focused intent, then it's going to be more difficult for you to self improve and to create that progress that you want, right? Like when I go to the gym, no matter what, for a while, I mean, it depends on the muscle group, but for the most part, like I like looking at the muscle that I'm working out. So if I'm working out my quads, I'm gonna be watching my quads. If I'm working out my biceps, I'm gonna be watching my biceps. Whether that's in a mirror, whether that's me actually like looking at my biceps, whether whatever it may be. Like I like looking at the muscle. I like looking in the mirror to see what I'm moving, what I need to adjust. Maybe I need to adjust the weight. Maybe I need to adjust my positioning. Maybe I need to adjust how much force I'm doing. Right. So it's the same thing. Like the lessons that you learn in trading are so versatile. Like in the rest of your life, it's insane. But the main point, what I'm trying to say, is basically going out and doing this self improvement journey, right? Like it's not going to be only for trading; it's going to be for everything. And the easiest way to learn and the easiest way to correct yourself and learn from yourself and see what you need to adjust is watch what you're doing, right? Like the level of self awareness that it took, or the level of like struggle, or like the amount of struggle that it took for me to get to this level of self awareness. Apologies for the lack of. Wow, I cannot sentence right now. I cannot articulate my sentences, my words, what I'm thinking, right? What I was saying was the amount of struggle that it took to get to this level of self-awareness while trading has been immense, right? And it's just about experience. It's about knowing this is what's going on in myself, being self-aware, being open-minded about it, right? Because I can tell you, like yesterday, I told you, oh, I was being greedy. Oh, I was being dumb. Like, why did I not move my stop loss? Why did I not do that trailing stop loss? Oh, why today? Why did I not get into those trades that I said were potential entries that were gonna bounce, right? And they did bounce. Again, hindsight, but um, like these are things that I can look at and I can go ahead and say like, all right, this is where I need to improve. This is where I need to get better. And just making these videos is extremely helpful because I'm going to be able to go ahead and watch them back to back, be able to see like how I was actually performing. So, and obviously it helps you guys out too because you get to see, oh, this is how the market works. Oh, this is kind of what he's doing. This is what he says. This is what his journey looks like. So I'm not the only like, and I'm talking from your perspective is like I'm not the only one that's struggling with this. I'm not the only one that's finding it difficult, right? I've been doing this for a year and a half. I have the knowledge, I have a lot of the understanding, but I still struggle, right? I still struggle at controlling my emotions. I still struggle at going ahead and executing it perfectly. Um, it's not going to be perfect every single time, and there are days that I do well. There are days that I go ahead and I perform, like a pro athlete, but then some days you have some off days. Some days you mess up, you blunder, right? You're not going to play a perfect chess game every single time. You're not going to play a perfect basketball game. You're not going to play a perfect Fortnite game if that's what you're into every single time, right? You're going to mess up. You're going to go ahead and learn from those mistakes. You're going to figure out, what you need to improve. And that's just how it works. Like that's literally just progressing in anything that you do, anything that you choose to do. So this is not any less difficult than anything else that you choose or decide to do, right? Like there's going to be levels of difficulty. You're gonna have to learn. You're gonna have to understand. You're gonna have to get through that experience so that you can go ahead and get a hang of it and get the grasp of it and go ahead and just be consistent, be disciplined, and keep pushing. And then you'll be able to get there. Um, I will tell you right now, like I don't see myself doing anything else but trading. I mean, obviously, like I do other things besides trading, but like as my this is my passion, like for real, for real. This is definitely one of the top things that I think about constantly. Um, it's almost an obsession, pretty unhealthy obsession, but or addiction. It's like I have a Celsius addiction for real. I'm working on it. Though. We'll be all right. I'm working on it. Anyway, so I've been yapping for a bit. I've been babbling for a bit. It's definitely time. It's definitely time to go to the gym. So I'm gonna leave you guys. I'm gonna leave you guys at that. And I hope you have a good Wednesday, uh, good market day, depending on what I guess whatever day you're watching this video. Um, but yeah, so again, great video, great chatting with you guys, and we'll see what we can do tomorrow. So.